Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to another edition of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, if you're going to lift a vehicle, there's a lot to take into consideration, especially if you're going to lift a UTV and especially if you're going to do it like this. It can be outrageous and very, very complicated, but our friends at Moorhead Offroad Engineering have some of these problems solved. Jake, what are some considerations you need to take in mind when you're going to lift a vehicle, either like this or a little more mild like that?
Well, you want to take into consideration your wheel position, your axle angle, and your steering geometry.
You know, a lot of people try to do it at home and they end up putting a bigger tire on and you wind up with some clearance issues.
All the time I'll get customers asking me, how big of a tire can I clear with and without your products? And then maybe 2 weeks later they call me and say, hey, I tried to fit them and they didn't. I need your products now. So on this Can-Am Defender, we installed my products on the passenger side. We left the driver's side factory. When we tried to move it in, this side was actually rubbing. So it just shows you the geometry of the A-arm is moved forward, and it still provides a good axle angle as well as steering geometry.
So what have you installed there on the right-hand side?
On this bike, we've installed the forward offset A-arms and the steering rack brace.
And then moving on to the rear, you did work again only on the passenger side there.
Correct. We installed my upper and lower adjustable A-arms on the rear.
And what makes your product stand out from some of the others that are out there?
Well, we use all USA materials. We use quarter wall USA DOM. All of our products are made in-house in Mississippi.
It has the word engineering in the title. It has your last name in the title. So you are an engineer by trade?
I am. I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree and an emphasis in manufacturing.
How important is that engineering knowledge to what you're doing? You know, you're not relying on trial and error the entire time.
Of course, engineering, they don't necessarily teach you some of the skills you need, but they teach you how to apply the skills. Your stresses, your forces, being able to apply that while you're designing the products really helps to create a strong, long-lasting product for these machines.
So you have an engineering background and you love to drive side by side. How did you decide to merge those two things?
It started out as a hobby. I made a few lifts for my personal bikes. People saw them, they wanted them. So I was working a full-time engineering position and I was coming home building a few lift kits here and there. And it turned into I was working 2 full-time jobs. So February of last year, I was able to go full-time self-employed and I've just grown it from there.
Another part of the engineering process is to make it easy to install. So what was the installation process like as you did it here in our studio?
If you can take the factory A-arms off, you can put my products on. From the A-arm installation to the rack brace, even our heavy-duty tie rods. Everything is made for the weekend warrior to install in their carport, garage, on the street, wherever they need to install it so that they can get out on the trails and spend less time, or they don't have to pay a professional to install them.
So if you can turn a wrench, you can put these on.
Exactly.
Well, we talked about the quality of your products, and just taking a look here, we saw a factory A-arm right down the middle and then one of yours, and boy, what a difference.
Yes, so the OEM arm is a 120 wall DOM. Our arms are a quarter wall USA DOM.
It's amazing, and I hear a lot of complaints about the OEM tube failing. Do you have a lot of complaints about yours?
No, we actually see other failures like frame failures other than our products failing.
So the frame's going to fail before your piece does?
Correct.
Gotcha. I love the quality, and I also love the adjustability here. Now we're looking at one of the rear A-arms. Tell me how this adjusts.
Yeah, so on the rear, we have a double turnbuckle style. You have a left hand and a right hand thread. So you can adjust these arms on a trail, in your garage, wherever you need to adjust them without removing the A-arm from the bike. So you can really dial it in to get the tire where you want it.
What kind of adjustments are we talking? Are you going to want to make once you install it?
You're going to want to adjust these once you put them on the bike the best you can. Then you're going to want to ride the bike. You're going to want to take it easy, flex it, then come back and really start. You can put a level, or if you have more complicated tooling, you can use that. But you want to have those rear tires at 0 degrees. So this is going to allow you to get those tires where you need them. It's going to prevent the bike from pulling in different directions.
You brought one more piece. This is a piece we installed. It's familiar. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, so that's our steering rack brace. The Can-Am Defenders are known for having weak OEM rack and pinions. So we designed a product that would eliminate the flex within the OEM rack and pinion to increase life and reduce failure.
Of course, if you're doing suspension, you're going to want new tie rods. You take care of that as well.
Yeah, we do. We actually make our tie rods out of the same material we make our A-arms out of. We machine our clevises in-house in Mississippi with USA materials, so you're not going to break one of those.
You're taking care of everything from front to back.
Front to back, left to right.
Excellent. Where can they find you online?
They can find me at MoorheadOffroadEngineering.com.
Thanks for being with us, and thank you for being with us. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.